Now, when you think of winter in East Texas, your mind might go to New Year's Eve of 2000, where multiple inches of snowfall fell across the region. Or there's April 7th of 2007, where multiple inches of snow fell in deep East Texas, which set the record for the latest snowfall in the year, and it gave us a white ground for Easter Sunday. I'm meteorologist Chandler Jordan from Tyler, Texas, where we received upwards of 7 inches of snowfall overnight. And now our main concern moving forward is going to be dealing with the very brutally cold wind chills that are expected to arrive into the evening, overnight, and into tomorrow morning, where many of us could be waking up to wind chills at or below zero. I'd say for most of us, including myself, the winter storm of February 2021 comes to mind. It was right here in the CBS 19 parking lot where I was dealing with the most snow I had ever seen and the coldest air I had ever felt. For East Texas, that week was something we had never dealt with before. It challenged us greatly, but there were those who confronted the challenge, such as the East Texas Jeep Outlaws. With over 1,000 members, they stepped up to provide safe rides to work for Christus staff members.
During that event, we had 88 Jeeps on the road then.
Club President Justin Hollis was the mastermind behind the entire operation. That week alone, he organized over 1,000 rides for Christus employees. For him, it was his way of giving back to East Texas.
I was born and raised here, and this community always has everybody's back, so it's just my way of giving back. And being president of the Jeep Club, or we're nonprofit, that's just all I've put it together to do, was to give back to the community.
Each of his drivers made personal sacrifices as well, including Marcus Forson. He gave rides day and night to make sure people were able to get to work.
It started about 4 o'clock in the morning. And when we started getting phone calls, and then I think Justin stopped getting phone calls probably about 11 o'clock at night.
And y'all did that the entire week?
Yes, sir, for about 7 days.
Marcus even went as far as shutting down his own business to help those who needed it most.
I have a little small business. I shut it down for that week, and I was helping out. You know, I did a little small stuff every now and then, and I'd wait for a phone call or a text message from Justin, the president, to guide us where our next pickup was, or drop off, or go pick up from Christus to their home. But I'll do it again in a heartbeat.
East Texas is full of wonderful people, and this shows that even when disaster strikes, we always come together and find a way to put our neighbors first.
Well, snow is a novelty here in East Texas, and we love it when it snows, a chance to get outside and enjoy something that we don't get that often. In fact, we average less than an inch of snowfall a year in East Texas. So when it does snow, yeah, we want to enjoy it. But there are a few things to think about. Winter safety tips, and here are some of those. For instance, if you're headed outside to enjoy a little time in the snow, or even if you're going to be outside, say, running in the very cold weather, make sure we're dressing for the conditions. Layering is the best thing to do. We've got to have 2 or 3 layers of clothing on. Maybe a thin shirt followed by a heavier flannel shirt or sweatshirt, and then an overcoat. And limit your time outside. Let's not spend too much time. In fact, when temperatures feel like they're below zero, sometimes we can get frostbite if we're outside longer than 30 minutes. So let's make sure we're covering up the tips of our ears and the tips of our fingers. Check on others. Might be a good idea to see if the neighbors need any help shoveling their sidewalk if we get that much snow. And remember, if anything melts and it gets really cold at night, areas can refreeze, so let's watch for those icy areas, sidewalks, parking lots especially. Around the home, check the furnace, make sure it's in working condition. Always good to replace that filter once a season. Check those chimneys. For instance, if you get a qualified chimney sweep to come over to your house and clean that chimney before you use it. Check your carbon monoxide detector. Remember, carbon monoxide is colorless and odorless and can cause big-time problems. Insulate the exposed pipes. We saw that happen earlier this winter when we had that hard freeze in December. Many burst pipes around the area, so if you can put a little cloth around those at night, open up those kitchen cabinets, let the faucets drip, you'll avoid some major problems and headaches. How about your car? Let's check our car battery. Let's check our tire pressure. Remember, the tire pressure can drop when the temperatures get really cold because the air inside that tire will compress. Have jumper cables ready in case the car stalls, because cold weather makes your car battery work a little bit harder. And let's have a blanket in the trunk. We don't want to break down, but if we did, we'd have that blanket to stay warm. For our pets, we're going to bring them inside if it's too cold. That's simply the best thing to do. If they are outside, we'll try to provide them some shelter so they can go into that shelter if they're out for just a little bit. Provide fresh water, and please keep the salt away from their paws. That can really hurt all of our pets. All of these tips are available on CBS19.tv. Extreme East Texas Winter Storm Ready continues right after this.
Extreme East Texas Winter Storm Ready, sponsored by Stonewater Roofing and Gas and Supply.